Hello again, fellow BeachBum traders. Thank you for joining us for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan for the trading week of September 11th through September 15th, where we'll be selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch, stocks we have in our bullpen. We'll talk about how to manage your shopping list. We'll also look at dividend payers and talk about several option strategies. So let's get started. So here's our Google document with our notes for part 2 of our weekly trading game plan. We put our notes in publicly accessible Google documents. You can find a direct link to this Google document with our notes for part 2 in the description box below. If you haven't already seen part 1 of our weekly trading game plan for this week of September 11th through the 15th, titled Paytience Pays in the Stock Market, we would highly recommend that you also view part 1, as that contains our market analysis, strategies, trade ideas, and the input data for selecting our top swing trading stocks to watch for this trading week of September 11th through September 15th. We keep all of our notes, Google documents, in a publicly accessible Google Drive folder, so you can refer back to the notes from part 1 for this week, previous weeks, etc. And you can find a direct link to that Google Drive folder also in the description box below. Our notes also contain links to videos, bonus videos, the tools and resources we use for our trading. So we hope that all helps. Happy Sunday again, The Crow. Thank you for joining us. Glad to see you again. So firstly, we'll review our trades for this week. Again, as our part 1 of our title for this weekly trading game plan is Paytience Pays. So you'll see we don't have a whole lot of trades for the past week. We're being patient, waiting for things to develop, become attractive, more attractive, as we saw the market kind of roll over in September, as we talked about last week. So again, patience pays, and we're trying to utilize that adage in our trading. So we only had one new trade or trade entry this week, and that's O, Realty Income. We've been watching Realty Income in our watch list for some time, looking for an opportunity to enter. We finally entered on the 6th at 55.01. Again, this is a long-term swing trade. O is a monthly dividend-paying REIT. So again, we can be patient, wait for that price to appreciate, as again, we're buying O more for price appreciation than strictly for the dividend. And we'll jump over and we'll look at that trade in Webull in a second. Welcome, Easy Mike. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. Just a quick reminder, if you'd like to get real-time updates when we enter or exit a trade, you can get real-time updates, email notifications when we enter or exit trades, both through via any level of our Patreon. So if you join any level of our Patreon, and you can find a link to our Patreon in the description box below, you'll get notification, email notification when we enter or exit a trade. Also access to several alerts channels in our Discord. So I've got 2 alerts channels. One's a Thinkorswim alerts channel, and I have price alerts set up in Thinkorswim that'll get automatically triggered and posted to this alerts channel in our Discord. And then you can see if we follow that up with an actual trade, then I will reply to that in the Thinkorswim alerts channel. If it's not related to a Thinkorswim alert, for example, options trades, etc., then we would post that trade in our trade alerts channel in our Discord. And again, you can get access to all of that via any level of our Patreon. Again, we don't ever recommend you blindly follow us into or out of trades, or anyone else for that matter. But if it will help you make money trading, help you succeed in your trading career, again, you can get that information via any level of our Patreon. So if we look at that trade in Realty Income in O, you can see we entered on the 6th as it dipped down. We didn't get the lowest price, but again, our target price was around 55. I could see some support at that level. It did dip down, so if you got our trade alerts, you might have gotten a little bit better price, and you can see it slowly starting to appreciate in price. So I'm going to hopefully, not too aggressively follow that up with a manual stop. and just, be patient, let that price appreciate. As again, O pays about a 25-cent monthly dividend, but again, it's got potential upside near term, about 64. So our near-term price target for price appreciation will be about that 64 level, and then longer term, it could go higher, 66 or so. So again, we'll patiently just let that price appreciate, follow it with a manual stop. And again, more so for the price appreciation than the 25-cent dividend. But if it takes several months to get that price appreciation, we'll be happy to collect that 25 cents a month dividend while we wait. Welcome to Ricky Kahn. Thank you for joining us. Hope you're doing well. So now we'll talk about our top swing trading stocks to watch for this week. We'll talk about the updates to our watch list, and then we'll go ahead and look at the charts for those in Webull. So you'll see we have several other REITs we've traded before. The REITs have been beaten up recently. I mentioned yesterday, you'll hear a number of people are starting to get interested in some of the REITs. One we've traded profitably in the past and we like is Land. Again, monthly dividend paying REIT based on farmland. Again, where it only pays like a 5-cent monthly dividend, but has decent price appreciation. So the adjusted yield is attractive, and we'll look at that in our dividend payers Google Sheet as well. So we put that in the game, moved it up to our main watch list from our bullpen on the 21st. MP Materials, debated about taking MP off as it's hasn't really come down lately, but it did look like it was slightly declining. I think it was Friday. We'll take a look at it. If you want to hear our thesis on why we like MP Materials, you can reference our previous due diligence video via the link in the notes and also on our BeachBum Trading YouTube channel. NSA, National Storage Affiliates, is a public storage REIT. Again, you'll hear others starting to get interested in this sector. It's run up a little bit. Again, I thought about taking it off, but we'll keep an eye on it for now. Or I thought about moving it back to our bullpen and waiting for it to come down some. If you'd like to hear our thesis on NSA, you can reference that via the bonus link in the notes. Again, we're taking Realty Income out of our watch list as we're already long. If you're not already long and you're interested in it, it hasn't appreciated too much. Just a heads up again, they do have an at-the-market offering sitting out there. So, on any pop, that's probably going to provide some overhead resistance and going to hold it down until they close that offering. So watch for when that offering closes, as that may alleviate that overhead resistance. The other one we're adding back to our watch list is WEAT. WEAT is the ETF on wheat futures. We talked about that yesterday. We looked at the futures chart for wheat yesterday. As you can see, I thought I might get it on Friday. Didn't quite come back down, but we'll see if we can get another swing in wheat. We've swung that profitably in the past, and we'll look so to do that again. Just another quick reminder, if you'd like to get more frequent updates to our watch list, our Patreon members, any level of our Patreon, will also give you access to a daily automatically generated web page, which also includes price targets, dividend information, ex-dividend dates, optionality, etc. And that gets generated every day. So if you'd like more frequent updates to our watch list, you can get access to that via any level of our Patreon. And also you can get access to a stocks watch list channel in our Discord. So if I make any updates to our watch list after that web page has been generated, then I'll post those updates in the stock watch list channel in our Discord. And again, any level of our Patreon will give you access to that, both the automatically generated web page and that channel in our Discord. So let me grab a quick drink and we'll go look at the stocks, the charts for our stocks and our top swing trading stocks to watch list in Webull. Welcome, Ellen Krantz. Thank you for joining us. Just a quick reminder, if you're not already using Webull, you can still get up to 12 free stocks by opening and funding an account in Webull. As you'll see, we use Webull for our market analysis, due diligence, as well as the majority of our trading. So again, we recommend Webull as a trading platform. And if you join Webull using our affiliate link that I'll put up in the banner and you can find in the description box below, you can again get your up to 12 free stocks and also help support our BeachBum trading community, which we greatly appreciate. Welcome, Smoked Tuna, to Ricky Khan. Thank you for joining us. Hope you all are doing well as well. So here's our top swing trading stocks to watch list for this week. Again, you can see land. Again, this is the farmland REIT. We like it, around 15. It's slowly coming down. Got a decent cyclical price appreciation up to 17 or so. You can see that previous low is about 1478. So it's coming down. We may get a crack at land in the near future. You can see it only pays about a 5-cent monthly dividend, and the last ex-dividend was $8.22. So the next one would be expected around $9.22. Here's MP Materials. Again, you can see it's kind of bounced up. I'd like it, ideally down at that 1918 level or around 19, below 20 would be a good price. It's run up a little bit, so we'll see if it rolls over and comes back down or if it's going to continue upward. It is somewhat volatile. I found interesting that MP tends to make its moves early in the day. So like the first hour of the day or so, you can see it is usually, whether it's up or down, it usually makes its move early in the day and then kind of, rebounds from there. So I thought that was interesting. So congratulations, Ricky. If you're in MP under 20, that's a good price. So again, protect your profits, and hopefully for your benefit, it'll continue to run up. So here's NSA, which is again public storage. And you can see it's kind of run up a bit. So it's been running up. I'd like it, around 31 ideally. So if it continues on its upward trend, we'll let that go, and I won't chase it up at this point. Again, it bounced pretty quickly off of that 31 and then headed back upwards. Got decent price appreciation, up into the low 43s. Here's wheat long term. You can see the previous low is at 588. We'll see it spike down there on Friday, just very briefly down to 588. If I would have had my order in at that time, I might have gotten it, but it bounced back up, and I thought maybe we'd get a shot at it again Friday, but it didn't come back down there. But again, it's been declining. Stayed below the pivot point. So we'll see if on Monday or early next week, if we get a shot in wheat. You can see it's a little bit choppy. Even after hours, I looked to see if we get a chance, but the spread was kind of wide. So maybe very soon we'll get a shot at wheat around 588 or so. And you can see it swings up into the 7s. So again, we will play that swing. And you can see it bounces pretty quickly off of that low. So it's seemed to have pretty good support there, both longer term and shorter term. So you talking about the uranium run? Yeah, we talked about that yesterday too. Uranium's been strong. Talked about the whole energy theme and the ETFs to trade both oil, natural gas. See some of you talking about gush and drip or gush, and also boil and cold for natural gas. Again, we talked about all those yesterday. So you can refer back and see those ETFs in our ETF Google Sheet for part 1 yesterday. So now we'll talk about our bullpen stocks. If you happen to be new to our channel, the concept of our bullpen are not stocks we're watching in real time, but they're ones I've identified that may present an attractive setup in the near future. So we put them in our bullpen. I just revisit these at the end of each day. If their setup has improved, then we put them in the game, move them up to our top swing trading stocks to watch list, and then watch them from there. If they break down or run away, then we just take them out of the bullpen. So it's, again, I just revisit these at the end of each day. So the first one we've had in our bullpen for a little while for sector rotation in steel, kind of a small cap laggard in the steel sector, ACNT. You can hear our thesis in more detail via this bonus link in the notes. BDRY we've been watching for a couple weeks. Again, one we've swung before on dry bulk shipping. Again, it looks like it might be coming back down for an opportunity for another swing, and we'll see that. Another REIT we've swung in the past profitably that looks like it may also come down and give us an opportunity in the near future is LTC. Again, this is a healthcare facility REITs, kind of like MPW, and you'll hear in the past couple weeks why we're not watching MPW, but LTC is kind of in a similar sector, so it might present an attractive setup in the near future. And again, it's a dividend-paying REIT that we've swung profitably in the past. And then UTSL is the leveraged ETF on the utility sector. We've been talking for a couple weeks about the seasonality factor in the utility sector. We also looked at it in the groups and sectors over the past couple weeks, and we see generally it's been down, and then we get these quick sector rotations like we did on Friday back into utilities. So we're waiting for kind of that bottom, that seasonal bottom in utilities, and then we would want to play utilities long using UTSL. And again, you can hear more details about that seasonality factor and when we're looking to buy utilities via the bonus link in the notes. Okay, so we'll jump back to Webull and we'll look at those charts real quickly. Just checking the chat, see if there's other discussion. I see you guys are having a good discussion. Again, we've got a great group in the chat helping each other out, sharing additional ideas. So here is ACNT, again, steel play. It's been kind of choppy. We saw that pop the end of last week. I didn't see any news to support that. You can see it's, a little illiquid, pretty choppy, but otherwise it's been kind of trading flat. So if we could get an opportunity, around 812 was the previous bottom. Again, it's just been kind of chopping around, trading flat. And maybe that illiquid choppiness is, may not be attractive. We'll see. Again, we'll keep in our bullpen, keep an eye on it, and see if it presents an opportunity. BDRY, again, dry bulk shipping. So again, we can see the previous bottom was about 448 or so, swung up to about almost 6, and then, declined and bounced back up a little bit. So again, we'll see if it rolls over again and if we can get an entry point in BDRY. LTC, again, this is the Healthcare REIT, you can see it pays about 19 cents or so, pays monthly. And you can see it's kind of, worked its way down, up, rolled over a little bit. We'd like it around, 30, 35 is the previous low. So if the REITs continue to get beat up for a little while, maybe we'll take an opportunity to get into LTC. You can see it goes, 30 to 35. So again, we've been playing it more so for price appreciation, but again, we can patiently just collect their small dividend while we wait for that swing to work itself out. You see it kind of regularly swings through those factors. So UTSL, and we talked about the utilities. It was, pretty steeply declining for quite some period of time. Recently had that bounce, kind of flight to safety. So again, for the longer term, the month, the quarter, etc., utilities have been down. Recently, we've got a little bit of a sector rotation back in, but depending on some of the economic data, if we see this week, we see that rotation out of the safety sectors, out of utilities. So we'll see if that downward trend continues and if UTSL is going to make a further low, or if this is the support level right around 20 that we want to look for entry. So again, I hope that all helps. In terms of our shopping list stocks, again, a couple weeks ago, we went into more detail about how to manage your shopping list, how to build your shopping list, how to cull, zombie stocks, etc., out of your shopping list. So I would recommend you refer back to that back to school sale in the stock market. Again, with the September, we saw the rollover in all the markets, so we may get some opportunities to get things at a good value in the near future. And again, we talked in more detail about that in this back to school sale video, so I won't belabor that right now. Again, the concept of the shopping list are stocks that you want to buy when they're cheap, when they present a value, just avoiding ones that, are zombies, etc. So now let me bring up our dividend payers. I saw a number of people talking about some dividend payers. I'll try to remember and cover some of those. If you have other dividend payers you'd like to take a look at, you can throw those up in the chat. Just a quick reminder, if you'd like access to this Google Sheet with our dividend payers to help you build a schedule of dividend payers to provide you income, given your preferred risk-reward profile, your schedule of dividend payers, you can get access to that via joining our Patreon at either the all access or VIP level, as well as that will give you access to our ETF Google Sheet and also the puts ROIC Google Sheet that we're going to also review in a few minutes. So let me grab a drink and we'll look at the dividend payers. Zoom it out a little bit. See Easy Mike's talking about SAR. We'll look at SAR. Let me look at that real quickly, and then we'll come back to some that are in our watch list and in our bullpen. So here's SAR. Again, you can find the categories, the industry. So this is an asset management In the industry column, you can see, what category it fits in. So see if that's a category that you'd be interested in a dividend payer. We can see it pays 71 cents quarterly. Looks like the next ex-dividend is 9/13, so early next week. So if you want to get that 71-cent quarterly dividend, you see it's got, so that's 11% yield. Does have some price appreciation, so about a 24% adjusted yield. It's kind of sitting in the middle of its support and resistance channel. So again, if you want to collect that dividend, the risk is less than the reward right now, and you can get that dividend. Again, you want to get in before the ex-dividend date of 9/13. So you mentioned SH. I don't have SH in here. Not familiar with that one. It's something I can look at if that's another dividend payer. Just a quick reminder, if you'd like us to do research on any further dividend payers, you just let us know. I can put that in the add tab, and then I'll do research to identify the support and resistance bottom and top, and then we can review those in subsequent weekly trading game plan. So again, just let us know in the comments or in our Discord, etc. If there's a dividend payer I don't have already in the Google Sheet that you would like us to research, and again, we can quickly add that, and then I'll do the research offline and we'll review it in a future game plan. So if I go back up to some of the others that we've talked about, see LTC. I know people like JEPI, JEPQ, so you can see where they're currently sitting, where their ex-dividend dates are. Looks like they do the first of the month. Here's LTC. Again, its ex-dividend's 9.20, pays about 19 cents. So again, you can see the risk-reward profiles on those. We talked about MPW that we're just not interested in due to their legal issues. Here's O. Again, it just went ex-dividend 8/31. So you can see the risk-reward profile we talked about on O. See the land. So again, ex-dividend 9.20. You see the price appreciation. The yield of the dividend is not that attractive, but the potential price appreciation is. So again, we're trading land more for price appreciation than the small dividend. SLBO, I see Ellen mentioned, we're still long. SLBO, GLDI are both Credit Suisse ETNs that pay monthly dividends. Again, we talked yesterday, silver's been, oscillating, declining right now. Gold, declined somewhat, but you see in the past, SLBO paid, a significant dividend. I know they just announced their next ex-dividend, and I think it's significantly less this month. So it's dependent on the price of silver and gold. USOI is the one on oil. I was looking at this Tate. We've traded Tate before. The risk reward right now, like I said, I was evaluating looking at Tate. That might be some one that we add back to our bullpen. It's kind of low float, and again, we've traded that profitably in the past. Yeah, we might take another look at that, but again, it is somewhat illiquid and low float. Here's TLT, TLTW. We've been talking about waiting for the bottom in TLT, and then evaluating whether we want to buy a chunk of TLT or TLTW, depending on the relative yield and potential price appreciation of those two. So we'll decide which of those two is most attractive, when that bottom in treasuries occurs. UTSL does pay a small quarterly dividend, but again, it's a leveraged ETF, so that's one, leveraged ETFs generally you're not holding long term for a dividend. They do decay over time depending on the trend, but if it's an upward trend, again, as long as you're trailing it, protecting your profits, it does pay a small dividend as well. So if anyone else has a dividend payer you want to take a look at, if I missed it, please let me know. Clip we've talked about is a dividend payer on China. Again, we did a video talking about our detailed evaluation of Clip, so you can hear that. Or keeping an eye on it to see if it evolves into something that we'd be interested in playing China long. Got junk. There's a number of bond funds that you can generate dividends from, and again, you can find all of these in our dividend payers Google sheet. And again, you can evaluate the risk reward profiles that fit your trading style. Find the ex-dividend dates, whether it's monthly or quarterly. So again, you can build your own income schedule of dividend payers using our dividend payers Google sheet. And we have a whole series of videos on how we developed and how you can use this dividend payer Google sheet to build your dividend payment strategy. Again, the theme for this week was patience paid, and one of our strategies, for applying patience and generating income while we wait for further trades to become attractive is through dividend payers. So you can hear all of those videos via this series titled How to Find the Best Dividend Paying Stocks via the link in the notes, or also, on our channel. Alan Krantz is asking, am I still bullish on the Fed rate hike? We will look. We've got CPI and PPI data coming out this week, and as I mentioned yesterday, I think we're going to see the probability of a rate hike in September versus October, November kind of oscillate with that data. So we'll see, whether we're going to get one September or November, October, November. My personal opinion is I think we're going to get one more 25 basis point hike, and then we're going to be higher for longer. So I think once we get that 25 basis point, I think they're going to hold for quite a while, probably through 2024. I know some of the other pundits think there's going to be a cut in 24. We'll see what happens, but I don't think so. Again, it's all my personal opinion. None of our content should be considered financial advice. We're not financial advisors. This is all for education and entertainment purposes only. But again, I think my personal opinion, I think we're going to get one more 25 basis point hike, possibly depending on that economic data, possibly not until November, but could be either September or November. I'm not overly concerned which of those it is. I think once we get that additional hike, I think, again, they're going to hold that rate for an extended period of time, and I don't expect any cuts anytime soon. So I hope that helps. Now we'll talk about our option strategies. We'll look at our puts ROIC. Again, if anybody has a dividend pair you want to go back and look at, I'll try to keep an eye on the chat. Again, I'll bring up our puts ROIC. You can see our overall option strategies, how we're using both selling and buying back covered calls, selling puts, cash secured puts in our case, and buying back cash secured puts to, again, another strategy, another patient strategy. When things are declining, we're selling puts, buying them back when they bounce. and again, generating additional income in that way while we patiently wait for additional trade setups to present themselves. So I'll bring up that puts ROIC Google Sheet. Let me grab a quick drink, and then we'll come back and I'll look at any opportunities we can see for selling puts in the near term. And again, you can get access to this puts ROIC Google Sheet as well as our dividend payers, our ETFs, by joining our Patreon at the All Access or VIP level. We also have a series of videos that explain how we put together this puts ROIC Google Sheet, how you can use that for your option strategies, titled Option Strategy for Beginners with Examples. And you can access that series via the link in the notes. We also have additional videos in our options playlist on how to sell covered calls and E-Trade, Webull, etc. The wheel strategy, how we're using the wheel strategy, and we talked about it a little bit last week as well. So right now, with the VIX being as low as it's been, as you'll see, premiums have not been terribly attractive, so we don't really have a whole lot of premiums that are, ideally I like to see at least something over $1. And the only one, again, I've left Disney sitting there at 85. We're currently long shares of Disney. I'll probably lower that to their recent low, which is somewhere around 80 or so. But again, we're not looking to buy puts or sell cash secured puts in Disney because we're already long shares. I'd possibly be looking at selling covered calls in Disney. If they become attractive, I do have an automated system that will tell me if it's attractive to sell covered calls on any of our positions. See, end phase is getting up there a little bit, but the ROIC is pretty low. So in this Google Sheet, again, you can see the ROIC based on the high. And then also if I've identified a recent high sell price, I'll put that in the sell price column, and then I can see the ROIC based on that price. So, even at 335, selling on end phase right now is only 2%. I can get 5% of my cash just sitting there. So why take the risk? So there aren't a whole lot of puts right now that are attractive from a premium standpoint. I do go through this option seller ROI tool each day, see if anybody's showing a more attractive. Again, I want somebody that I'd be willing to get assigned, be willing to own if I get assigned. So anybody unprofitable, etc., is not something I'd be interested in. If it's just something we want to watch for research standpoint, or we've watched it before, like Moderna, we played essentially a wheel strategy on Moderna recently, made some money there. So I've got that in the research tab right now. I believe I took it out of the main watch list, as again, it's the premium's just not very attractive. Again, if you would like us to do research on any puts, if you have a stock, a strike price, expiration date that you would like us to add, we can add that to the research tab. I can run my automated systems. Our automated system collects this data on the options in the gray columns. The option or the non-gray columns, the white columns are Google Finance functions. So as stocks move up and down during the day, it's not quite real time, about a 20-minute delay. But again, we can see who's moving up and who's moving down. So when they're moving down, it shows up green. And it might be something we want to look at selling a put on. If we've already sold one and it's moving up, might be a time to buy it back. And again, then we could see the most recent previous days, low, high, etc. These gray columns are updated by our automated systems at the end of each day. So again, we can get an idea of where to sell or buy these puts. So again, if you'd like us to do research on any of those, just let us know in the comments to this video. Again, you can ask us any questions or let us know stocks you want us to research, etc. In our Discord. Tag us, we're BeachBum Trading, no pounds, no numbers. Anybody else? So that's probably an imposter. So again, just BeachBum Trading, all lowercase. No pounds, no numbers. Just let us know if you'd like us to do due diligence on a stock, look at a dividend payer, look at options put to do research on. We can do that. You can find an invite to our Discord in the description box below. Also, we have links on our homepage, beachbumtrading.com. Find the invite to our Discord, our Reddit community, Facebook group, all of our other social media sites. Many ways you can contact us and ask us questions, ask us to add something to one of our Google Sheets, or do research. Okay, let me check the chat and see if there's any questions. If you had a question and I missed it, or if there's, again, other dividend payers, other options you want to look at, we can do that. Again, if I missed your question previously, I apologize. Please throw it back up in the chat. We'll try. We've got a few minutes. We can talk about whatever you'd like to chat about, look at some individual stocks, etc. So you guys talking about BX and Airbnb, Airbnb. Let's see what is BX. So again, you can also find links to many of the tools we use on our homepage under the links section. So I'll jump over to FinViz. Also find the ETF database there, etc. Okay, Blackstone. So we see Blackstone recently broke out. It's been uptrending, so that's been strong. So if you're already in, that looks very positive. Asset management. Airbnb had some news, I know. I guess they had some issues with New York, but it had a nice gap up pop. I think we did previous due diligence on Airbnb. See, Alan Krantz asking about a possible put. You can see where the resistance level, the previous top is, and you can see where the support level is. So if you're talking about, short-term put, there's, some significant risk still on the upside, and you don't have a ton of room. Again, short-term trade, again, it's sitting in the middle of the channel right there. I wouldn't be terribly aggressive with selling a put on it right now. If it does start to roll over, you'll probably see a gap fill at some point. So again, if you're a very short-term trader, day trader, scalper, etc., if you see that rollover, it might be a very short-term opportunity. Begin longer term, the trend seems to be up, and it's got resistance up here, support, 125-ish or so. So not something I would be interested in, but shorter term, again, you might find an opportunity there. Checking to see if I can catch anything else you guys are talking about that you want to look at. Just another quick reminder, we always welcome comments, suggestions on how we can improve our weekly trading game plan videos, any of our content, etc., and or any of our systems, our tools to and our communities to add more value for all of our BeachBum traders. So please let us know. We'd love to hear how we can, make our content as well as our community and our tools as beneficial and as valuable to all of our BeachBum traders as possible. Okay, if nobody else has any immediate questions, we'll wrap up for this week. And again, you can always put questions in the comments to this video in our Discord, etc., and we can follow up and try to answer those questions as soon as we're able. We also have a great community of traders in our Discord, and they can also help answer your questions as well if it's an area that I'm not as familiar with or type of trading that we don't engage in as much. So we hope that all helps. So thank you all again for joining us, and we hope that you have a successful and profitable trading week for the week of September 11th through September 15th. And we hope to see you all in our Discord as well as next week. Thank you all again, and have a great weekend. On your way out, I hope that you like this content. I hope you'll smash the like button and share our content with your fellow traders and friends. We'd really like to continue to grow our BeachBum trading community for the benefit of all of our BeachBum traders. And we love to get the YouTube algorithm to share our content with more traders around the world. So again, the larger our community, the more beneficial it is for everyone. So please hit the like button. Thank you, Tony Roses. And again, please share this in other communities that you might hang out in that we're not participating in at this time. Again, let's all work together, grow our BeachBum trading community for everyone's benefit. So thank you again for all your help and all your support, and have a great trading week. Bye.